Hi, this is Kelly. Today is Sunday, February the 1st, 2026. My weight as of this morning is 202.8 pounds, which means I've lost exactly 1 pound since last Sunday. And my current total weight loss is 108.2 pounds. This now makes it 2 years since I first started this latest weight loss journey. I started at 60 in February 2024. I'm now 62. And obviously, I still have a ways to go, but I'm about 2/3 of the way. I've tried to lose and did lose, at least temporarily, weight several times before in my life. I don't remember how many times, really. I don't. But this, I think, is the most weight I've ever lost at one time, although, to be honest, this is the heaviest I've ever been when I started. And I'm fairly sure this is the longest I've ever stayed on a particular diet, other than the standard American junk food diet. So, part of me still can't believe I've gotten this far. I mean, I'm a little weary at times with how much further I have to go, but I still can't quite believe completely that I've managed this far. And why is this time different? I still think two reasons. One, this time, unlike all the other times, it wasn't just because I was repulsed by my body. It was about my health. I'd gotten to the point where the age and the weight combined was seriously affecting my health in ways I could not ignore anymore. The big game changer was my knees started to hurt me every single time I stood up. And I don't mean a little bit of pain, I mean a really sharp pain. And I was thinking, you can end up in a wheelchair in a few more years if you don't try. So, that was one hell of a motivator. I don't want to become completely immobile any sooner than I must, And the other change, this time, unlike every other time, I made a serious effort to cut out the ultra-processed food as much as possible, even to the point of cutting out diet soda, which I've been drinking soda since I was a kid. So I didn't think I'd be able to do it, but much to my surprise, I succeeded. And the cutting out the ultra-processed food for me, I don't claim it will work this way for everyone, but for me, it reduced my cravings, so I didn't feel like I was missing out so much on my favorite junk foods, and it helped with inflammation. My knee pain went away by the time I'd lost only 20 pounds. And considering I started at 311, 20 pounds should not have been enough to fix my knee pain. So it had to have been cutting out the ultra-processed food. In my opinion. If you don't, like I said, your results may vary. At first, when I first started 2 years ago, I did a whole food, low carb diet, and I didn't go completely carnivore, but I came pretty close. I didn't have any vegetables and only a small amount of fruit. I couldn't quite give up the fruit completely, but It was just a small serving once a day, pretty much. And it did work at first, as far as my weight was concerned. My energy got even lower than before. My cholesterol went through the roof, which freaked out my doctor. And unlike some diehard keto people, I did not discount the risk. But at the time, I was so desperate to lose some weight. I considered losing the weight was worth the risk of the high cholesterol. I guess I was hoping it would taper off after a while or something. That did not happen. But, I did lose some weight despite being really low energy, despite my cholesterol going through the roof, and despite my insomnia getting a lot worse. Really bad. But then it stopped working. After actually about a year, I lost roughly 60 pounds, got down to 250 and then stalled for 4 months. And every other time in my life, if I had hit a stall that lasted that long, I would have just given up. Thrown my hands up in the air and just gone back to eating the way I did before, because the stress and strain of trying to do the diet wasn't worth it anymore, because if I wasn't getting any results. I didn't do that this time. And once again, because I was afraid of my health getting worse. Instead, I switched from whole food low carb to whole food low plant-based and low fat. And at first I still ate some meat and fish. I cut out the dairy pretty quick, mainly because I cannot portion control myself with dairy. I love the taste of cheese too much. But I've gotten, let's see, when's the last time I had meat? For my birthday, the end of November. So it's looking like I'm able to give up the meat and fish, and as well as the dairy, completely, which I did not quite expect to be able to do. Am I gonna sign in blood that I'm never gonna have a taste of beef again? No. But I'm enjoying the food I'm eating without it. And my change, when I changed over to whole food plant-based, the weight loss started up again. Like I said, I'm now down 108 pounds. And the insomnia got much better. Not completely gone, but much, much, much better. And my cholesterol went down to what it's supposed to be, which made my doctor happy. And my energy level well, no more than a little bit. It's improved a lot, but still, compared to normal people, quote unquote, I'm a low energy level person. Just not as much as before. So, even if I don't lose any more weight, God forbid, because I still need to lose, close to 60 pounds, I would like. But even if I don't see me going off this diet, because I'm enjoying the food I'm eating. I don't feel enormously stressed and strained keeping up with it. I don't feel like I'm deprived, constantly craving something I can't have. the cravings just aren't there. I mean, yeah, if someone were to walk in the door waving a bag of potato chips, yeah, I'd want it. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not, dreaming of potato chips at night. What can I say? Um, so this is a diet I actually can see myself doing for the rest of my life, whether or not I lose any more weight. And it's food I enjoy. It's tasty, and it's doesn't feel that hard to do. The hardest part is, coming up with new recipes. I don't have as much of a variety as I should just because I hate cooking, and anything too complicated makes me uh, panic, I guess. But I'm managing. Um, I have a lot of soups, hearty soups with potatoes in them. I have a lot of chili. I have stir fry, and occasionally I'll have a salad. I get tired of salads real quick. Um, I'll have a lot of fresh fruit. I can make a meal out of some grapes and a big chunk of watermelon. Um, and I'll have a veggie plate frequently, just with a little uh, dip on the side that I made. It's doable. And for someone who's failed so many times before, it's just, at times it feels like a miracle. So yeah, I wish I'd, you know, tried this 40 years ago. Uh, but, yeah, better than late than never. And I guess what I'm saying is, I understand if you're struggling with your weight. I understand if you're feeling despair about it. I've been there. That is the biggest hurdle, is just getting over the sense of despair that nothing you do is going to work. But if I can do this in my 60s, with a bad back and difficulty getting myself to leave my apartment, you can do this too. And if you're on a weight loss journey, I wish you well. I hope things go the way you want. And just be kind to yourself and take care of yourself. Bye.